Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a torta with a snack habit. Bye up, bye up. Let's get straight to the intro. Welcome back to Gunners Collective TV. If you haven't hit that like and subscribe button, make sure that you hit it. Put your notification bell on all, so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun is kicking. I highly appreciate it, and I'm very humble. Thank you very much. So yesterday, there was bail hearings had, right? And there's all kinds of rumors circulating and going on ever since this indictment happened with Big U and the Rolling 60s and associates, right? And I say associates loosely because there's a lot of people that are on that indictment or that are on that poster board of criminality, right? That are not actually 60s Crips, right? A lot of people think that this is just a 60s indictment, like they RICO'd the neighborhood 60s in Los Angeles, and that ain't the case. They actually are focused on Big U and his enterprise, which is Big U Enterprises. And for that, everyone that was associated with them is going to be questioned or talked about, and that's just how that goes. There's a lot of people on the internet spreading a lot of false narratives and rumors. I seen one channel that actually said, hey, Brick Baby is out. He's out. He was bailed out, only to double back later on and say, my bad, Brick Baby isn't out. Now, I don't know if Brick Baby's out or not. When I first heard, hey, Brick Baby got out on this, because he was arrested, obviously, under this RICO, it blew my mind. I was like, how the hell did he get out already? Is he telling on everybody? Or was he already telling, right? Look, that's what people are focused on. Who's going to tell? Who's going to tell? Who's going to be the first to tell? Damn. Hey, pointing fingers at people pointing fingers already. At the end of the day, everything is going to play out the way it's supposed to play out. We got men that have lost their lives. And again, man, I want to express to people that think, oh, man, why are you on Big U's side? Oh, man, he's a monster. What about the guy that was murdered? What about look at everyone is innocent until proven guilty. And I've never been one to try to throw someone under the bus and to say, hey, this guy's a mass murderer or killer or he deserves time. Look, I don't push jail upon no one. Not this man, not Wes Watson, not anyone. At the same time, street justice is to be had in ese, and criminal justice is to be had. And so this guy's time to shine, he'll get his time in court, whether he takes a plea deal, whether he takes it to the box, whatever happens, Big U definitely will have his day. Okay, so for the people that are over there speculating and saying, oh, he's a monster, he's getting the street justice he deserves or the justice he deserves, that's just you running your fucking, bumping baking soda breath on the door and running your dick sucker, because at the end of the day, you don't know what this man has or hasn't done unless you were in direct contact and you were the cucaracha right there on his shoulder while any of these crimes were being committed, if any were committed by his hand. Now, there's a lot of people speculating that Big U, and I've heard this rumor for a long time, that Big U is going to be charged with conspiracy to commit murder in the Nipsey Hussle case. Now, I've done my research and I've seen some things that make me say, okay. And I'm sure law enforcement, as they have put out there themselves, watch social media and see every video posted. Now, two videos in particular, one had me thinking, damn, these dudes are some suckers. The other one had me thinking, damn, wow, right? But there could always be an answer for every question. So let's put it like this. The first one was when I seen Whack 100 sitting down with Loose Cannon, who also is on this indictment and has been charged, and did put out a video yesterday through his wife, sounding very cheerio. He was sounding very happy for one reason or another, and was continuing to disrespect Big U, was continuing to call Big U big useless, he sounded like he was in good spirits. Okay, Loose Cannon did not sound like this. Being locked up affected him in any form or fashion. And when guys that are looking at a lot of time are very happy, the speculation gets real. Like, why is he so happy? Why is he so confident he's going to be out? Is he truly an innocent man, or is he a guy, that knows something we don't know, that has some aces up his sleeve that he can utilize anytime he wants? Maybe we should call him Big Utilize, right? Because it seems like he wants to or does have a good hand in that poker game that they're playing. Whatever the case may be, man, Loose Cannon put out a video yesterday, and there was a lot of videos put out. But I want to refer back to a video that was done with Loose Cannon and, of course, Whack 100 on No Jumper. And this was the first time I ever seen Loose Cannon. Now, I have heard the name Loose Cannon before throughout my time in California, right? But I was never aware that this guy was the Loose Cannon that I had heard of. In fact, a story that's floating out there and circulating on social media is that this Loose Cannon is not the Loose Cannon that was well known, that this guy took the Loose Cannon persona and just basically ran with it. Again, man, I don't know him, so I'm not going to disrespect him and talk shit, but I do know one thing, that is the word on the curb. So anyways, him and Whack 100 are sitting there, and everyone's pretty much seen this viral video where he starts speculating that he called Big U or got a phone call from Big U where Big U said, and this was about an hour or 30 minutes prior to Nipsey Hussle being murdered, right? Where he says in his own words that Big U called him and told him that Nipsey had died. Now, okay, I know if I got homeboys from my neighborhood and I get that phone call, I'm going to do exactly what Loose Cannon said he did. Immediately, he said he called Nipsey Hussle, to which Nipsey Hussle answered the phone. And instead of warning his homeboy, instead of saying, hey, bro, I just got a crazy call, man, because usually when you call a homeboy, usually, hey, what's up, bro? You're concerned. If you're so concerned with his well-being, right? And this is what didn't add up in the story to me. First thing I'm going to say is, hey, man, the homeboy just called me and told me that you passed. That's why I had to check up on you, bro. Are you good? Yeah, nah, cuz I'm good. On neighborhood crib. All right, you're good? Shit, because, man, I was about to fucking mount up. You know what I'm saying? Something about the West Coast. Shh, we're about to tell everybody is what they're doing, right? But instead, the conversation didn't go that way. He said that he just had a good conversation, told Nip he loved him, all that, I guess that's the way they do it. And that was that. 30 minutes later, he's receiving phone calls from all his homeboys talking about Nipsey just got hit. Okay, we all know what happened in the Nipsey case as far as him getting killed by Shitty Cuz on crib, right? Now, that's an unfortunate event. And it's crazy because a lot of people are taking it to heart. I had people DM me yesterday. People leave comments on my video. Yeah, Gun, you're backing up Big U. What about Nip? What about Nip, man? First of all, I respect Nipsey Hussle's hustle. I like Nipsey Hussle's rap music, but all these motherfuckers acting like Nipsey cared about them or they knew Nip. Stop it, bro. Trying to make him into a martyr or some type of king. Look, we respect Nipsey like we respect Pac, like we respect a lot of people. But I didn't know Nipsey from a fucking bowl of fucking SOS prison style, Gil, right? So, and really prison style, because I know what it tastes like. I'm not going to disrespect Nip and say, hey, he wasn't worth the inquisition or the fucking, investigation that they did. But let's be honest here. People get all fucking pumped up when it comes to Nipsey Hussle. They're like, they didn't even know about Nipsey till he died, to tell you the truth. Everybody wants to pull up to the Marathon Burger to take pictures. It's for clout. It's not because they want to support Nipsey. It's not because the marathon continues. Let's keep it real. If we're going to keep it real, let's keep it all the way real. And there's going to be people that agree with me. Yes, I think Nipsey was doing good for the streets. Yes, I think Nipsey was doing good for his hood and for his people, not for all people, right? Because at the end of the day, when you're a gang member, when you're in your hood and you get shot and things happen internally within your neighborhood, that's what happens. That's 60s business. That's his business. He fought with that dude a week prior, so there was some animosity already there. Allegedly, Nipsey told him, hey, bro, there's some fucking rat allegations on you. You need to keep it pushing. And the dude felt some type of way. But anyways, let's go back to this conversation between Whack and Loose Cannon, where Loose Cannon is saying he called Nipsey Hussle and told him he loved him and everything, and never warned Nipsey, hey, Big U called me and told me this. Why? Because I don't even think that conversation was ever had in SC. I don't ever think that Big U called Loose Cannon and told him that, because immediately if my homeboy calls me, my first instinct is to call the homeboy and give him a heads up. And Whack questioned that. On Paru, he questioned that. Whack said, hey, You didn't tell Nip? You didn't give him a warning? I mean, you called him immediately. The first thing you would say is, hey, bro, Big, you just told me this. I know you guys don't get along. You got to watch out, cuz. You know what I'm saying? You need my back. I got your back. None of that. Just, hey, how you doing? Boom, boop, 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 boop. I love you, and I'm out, right? 30 minutes later, Nipsey gets downed. Okay, so to me, I feel that there's a situation between Loose Cannon and Big U. Maybe, you know, he wanted to get in with Big U, be a part of his project or whatever he had going on, and Big U didn't give him the time of day. You know, Big U is old school. I can tell you about old school Crips. Very humble, very quiet, very maniacal. They do their own thing. You guys seen Stanley Tookie Williams. His character was very similar to Big U's. Okay? They move like lasagna, very slowly and very quietly. See, I did time with a lot of 60s Crips when I was younger. They were vicious. They were vicious, but one thing I can say about a lot of them is they were very quiet. They didn't tell people their hood business. For the past 3 years, I've been on YouTube watching the 60s implode. Not the whole hood. Respects to the 60s, man. Got a lot of respect for them. I did time with them. I seen what they're about. I know. But the guys, the characters that are portraying that they're from the 60s, like Brick Baby and Loose Cannon and several others on YouTube that are actually making their hood look bad, that are being very disrespectful, that are doing and involving themselves in shenanigans I never thought I'd see a 60 Crip Rich Rollin ever do. And this is just the truth. This is me being real, right? Anyways, I never seen Big U go out of character. I always seen him doing what he did. So anyways, that video between Wack and Loose Cannon kind of went viral. People were tripping like, damn, did Big U really jump the gun? Did he really call Loose Cannon out of everyone else in the world, out of every solid homeboy he really fucks with, right? Why would he call Loose Cannon and tell him that? Is the interaction between Loose Cannon and Big U really that real? For someone who really doesn't like Big U at all, who talks about him, who calls him big useless, who allows people to disrespect him like Adam right in front of him, for someone that just seems to fucking really dislike this guy, has, you know, sourpuss when it comes to Big U's name, really gets a shitty look on his face, shitty cuz, right? When he really does that, why would Big U out of everyone in the world call him to tell him, hey, cuz, this fool's gone? I don't know. You know, again, I don't know their hood business and how close they really were. But it doesn't seem to me like that conversation was ever had. Whatever, right? This is what he puts out there on social media. And in doing so, it's basically a situation where he's playing the blame game. He's putting a charge on this guy in public where the authorities watch, right? That definitely is going to pique some interest because Nipsey Hussle is a very well-known person with a lot of respect, a lot of love, you know, from fans, from his hood, from people. Now, the other video I seen that made me say, oh, shit, was a video that surfaced where it shows Big U kicking back with Kev Mac and another guy, and they're on a live, and they're reading the chat, and someone says justice for Nipsey, and they kind of laughed like they knew a secret that no one else knew, right? They kind of chuckle like, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Like, pfft. And then I hear some other things in the background. And you got to really watch that. You got to really watch that. Now, of course, this video is alleged to be right after Nipsey was killed, you know, so it does look incriminating. I'm going to be honest. It does look like they're laughing about an inside joke or something they knew. Now, at the time, for anyone that knows the history of these two men, man, slightly, because not everything is put out there. Big U and Nipsey were not seeing eye to eye for whatever reason. You know, I understand when you're an OG in the hood, you're revered. You're the king. Hey, you're the king of the motherfucking jungle, right? The only lion. The young lion's going to come up and challenge you for that motherfucking throne, right? That's how it happens. The old heads or old school or veteranos or what I'm now considered an OG, right? There's always going to be the youngster that talks his shit, that shows promise. You know, there's new blood in the hood all the time. That's what it's all about. It's about that next generation climbing that mountain and maintaining. Now, a lot of the old heads don't like to give up the ghost. They don't like to get bumped over for no one. So I could understand Big U saying, all right, homie, you're making moves. You're pulling up in Rolls Royces. You're opening stores in the hood. You know, a lot of times, man, you're proud of the youngster that's doing that, but there's always going to be a little bit of hate. That's just the truth. It's human nature. There's going to be a little bit of hate because you couldn't achieve what he's achieving quicker. Or maybe you did achieve that, but he's doing it faster. You know, these youngsters nowadays, man, they don't have no delayed gratification skills. They want shit now, and they're handling their business now. They're pulling up and popping. They're pulling up and shooting. Steph Curry, they're pulling up to pop. It's just what it is. And so I can understand maybe there being some animosity or even some deeper rooted animosity within their hood, which again is 60s hood business and something we should never or will never know. Whatever the case, he might not have liked his homeboy. So his homeboy getting down didn't affect him like it affects all these people that didn't even know Nipsey, right? All these people that are demanding justice for Nipsey. Anyways, that video did leave me in question. I'll just say that, you know, being a fan of Nipsey Hussle, respecting his music and respecting the way he moved on the streets, you know, I have to say, it's like, man, I know there's a guy convicted for his murder. I know there's a guy sitting down. Let's ask ourselves honestly a question. Okay. According to what everyone has said about Shitty Cuss, right? The guy who pulled the trigger on Nipsey, who was convicted of it. No, allegedly, he's seen on camera. He did that, right? That guy was a known member of the 60s, allegedly, that was addicted to drugs. And this has been said by many people, okay? And was a shooter in the hood, allegedly. Just, you know, was that type of character. Small, little, skinny dude, you know, rowdy, wild, whatever, on dope. Do you honestly believe everyone in the world hates him? He's in protective custody, SNY yards. He's no longer loved in the hood like that. He's not a part of the hood. He's outcasted. Do you really honestly think that if this was a conspiracy and Big U put that dude on Nip, that he would have not told on Big U? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself that. Getting life in prison, all the years he got, do you honestly believe that he wouldn't have told on Big U because he's got that much love and respect for Big U in the hood when the hood kicked him to the curb and talked shit about him? Come on now, you gotta speak reality here. Anyways, there's a lot of people that are hoping Big U gets charged for the conspiracy to kill Nipsey Hussle. I don't think that's going to be the case. You know, they've read his charges out. I seen his hearing yesterday as far as bond, where he was remanded back to the custody of the state, right, or the county. I've seen all that, and never once have they mentioned Nipsey Hussle. So for the people that are spreading propaganda, oh, they got him on Nipsey Hussle's murder. No, that's not the case. Not at all. They got him on a murder case involving that football player or that young rapper or whatever he was. You know, I heard the tape. Whack 100 is a cold character. Cold. On Paru, you cold, brother, right? And I'm going to tell you why. A very untrustworthy person. You know, for all the bad things I say about Whack, there's a lot of good I could say too, man. But, man, this was a bad thing. He put out a phone call. Someone else put out the phone call, but it had to come from him. He was recording it, right? With the mother of the victim, the homicide victim, where she expressed to Whack, please don't put this out. You know, and Whack put it out, or it got into somebody's hands, right? And it's out there on the internet floating around, where she's telling Whack that Big U was going to be charged. You know, and Big U said he was just going, Whack 100 said, oh, Barbara, I'm just going to sit back and eat popcorn and watch this shit pop off. Scandalous character, right? You know, I understand you don't like this guy for whatever reason, but man, you know this guy might get locked away. You can't even give him a little heads up. I know you don't want to be involved in this, none of your business, but you sure are having a conversation behind the scenes about this man. At least you could do is tell him something. Tell him something good, right? But he puts out this conversation that a woman asked him not to. Now, in this conversation, she says he's going to be charged. They're going to go snatch Big U up somewhere between the end of March and the beginning of April, right? It happened. Now, she also says that, you know, she refers to the Nipsey Hussle case, but she only refers that the same district attorney that handled the Nipsey Hussle case is going to be handling this case. Not saying he's going to get caught up for the actual Nipsey Hussle murder, but it's the same district attorney. What's usually like that? You know, usually the same district attorney handles the big cases. So I can understand that. People immediately took to social media, oh, he's going to be charged for Nipsey Hussle. Look, I heard his whole bail hearing. Okay? He's not being charged at all for the murder of Nipsey Hussle, because the man convicted of it is already locked up. And best believe this, the brothers is strong, but the 60s the deepest, right? No, just, but believe the East Coast actually is the deepest. But real talk, would you ever believe that Shitty Cuz would sit down doing all day, no canteen, his homeboys don't fuck with him, no one likes him, a lot of people talk shit about him, they had him in protective custody and high power and fucking in LA County Jail, and he's going through all the motions, and he can't hit the yard because everybody on the yard wants to do something bad to him, right? He's getting beat up by the Southsiders in county. Motherfuckers are on him because of what he did to Nip, right? Do you think he's gonna just, out of everyone in the world, gonna stick to his guns when it comes to Big U? Big U can't get to him. A whole bunch of essays can, though, right? Come on, now you got to speak reality here. I'm not trying to defend Big U in any form or fashion against the charges. If he is ultimately charged, wow, we'll see what happens. Do you honestly believe loose cannon, though? Someone who is disgruntled and doesn't like Big U putting this story out there. I don't believe Big U called him. I don't believe that. I don't believe that story, man. I honestly don't. That's just me, though. That's my personal perspective. Anyways, man, just to let you know, for all these social media guys that are putting things out there like Brick Baby got out, Brick Baby's not out. Big U got charged. Big U didn't get charged for Nipsey Hussle's murder. Big U got a whole bunch of other shit he needs to worry about. And we're going to see who tells and who doesn't tell. One thing I know for sure is this is an ongoing case. It's going to continue to be ongoing as long as they want it to be. Will they have more arrests in the future? Obviously they will, because there's going to be dudes in there talking and saying things. With that being said, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in. And that's definitely the best interest of all people, man. And I seen a content creator. He was like, man, this dude's a monster. I see all these content creators blaming No Jumper and these guys, and they really need to focus on Big U. He's the one. Damn, you're a motherfucking cop, bro.